What is that? Snow! It is snowing! Let's count!
1 beautiful snowflake, 2 beautiful snowflakes.
Ah, ah, ah.
Hi and welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben and this is my review for Netflix's original Indian series called Tooth Pari When Love Bites. This is my first foray into Indian supernatural vampire. I've never seen an Indian vampire. I've never seen anything quite like this. But is it worth your time? Let's jump in. A rebellious vampire with a broken tooth falls for a shy dentist on the streets of Kolkata. But will human and mystical forces keep them apart? I should say, when it comes to like great cinema vampire stories, this is not it. But at the same time, I really enjoyed it. There is something different and unique and interesting about a creator that takes a genre that's done to death and goes, you know what, we're going to do something a little bit different. And I think that's partly with the culture, the Indian culture, is they've taken what is culture specific with the characters of how they act, even in the specific culture of how they act in cinema. So there are differences there between real life and fantasy life. And they've taken those things and kind of put it with the Indian culture and the Indian vampire culture, which I didn't know was a thing, and then added new lore. So you get a bunch of things that you know that vampires do, but then they add stuff, specifically when it comes to like teeth, and I want you to discover the other things that are different. You add things of other supernatural entities or people wielding power, and as the story unfolds, there's a lot more depth to it than you think, but at the heart of it is a relationship, which I think you need something to ground the fantasy of relationship. You know, it is almost vampires mustn't fall in love with humans, that kind of thing. There is some comedy and slapstick nature of the dialogue at times, and there's some dark moments, and there's some iffy CG. But what you get out of this is something that I think, if this is your first time into this sort of genre, Indian kind, I think you're going to enjoy it because it's different. Now I would say that it does draw out a lot. There are times and spaces where I thought this didn't need to be in it, you could have cut. There are long pauses or slow-mo shots that didn't seem necessarily need to be there. They're just trying to showcase a woman walking from one shot to the next shot to the next shot, and you're like, what is this for? So there's definitely stuff that didn't need to be in there, but the characters that you get to know, some of the characters, especially even the bad guys, are almost, I don't want to use the word slapstick, but classical bad guy, but old school bad guy vampire. That sort of thing. Or classical bad guy. And there isn't much backstory to those characters, but our main protagonists, you do get to find out a bit about them. And that means you like them. That means you are rooting for them. The cinematography is fine. I think it's fun in places. The score, I think, works for what it's going for, the type of tone it's going for. The acting, I think, all round is good. Like, there's no one that I went, oh, that's a bit dodgy. Some actors with their dialogue have to exuberate themselves and overact, and even their costume design says this is the character that's gonna be overacting, and that's fine because of the genre that we're watching. Sometimes I've seen Indian movies where they're overacting that just didn't fit the genre, or didn't fit the time. Here it seemed to work really well. I like what these characters are given. Whether we get more, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on how this ended. I think it's good. I do think it's drawn out. I think it could have been shorter, but I enjoyed my time with it. Nothing stands out. It's not like brilliant, but it certainly is different, and that's what I was looking for when I came to this. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this. Which character is your favorite? I really like the dentist. I like their relationship, but there are some of the side characters that I think were just a lot of fun. We could have done more screen time. As they get developed, you get to see some people on the different side of the world. And what I mean by that, there's two scales. The vampires that are basically prisoners underneath, and the people up top with the supernatural entities that are around, vampires, witches, that kind of thing. And I hope that you'll enjoy the kind of I guess the investigation, it's not even that. It's like prisoners being allowed to escape, and as the story unfolds, you get to see more of that world through their eyes. And that's always a great way to tell a story. So I thought that was good. Yeah, I'm going to give this 3.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
I didn't think it's brilliant, but it was definitely an enjoyable one-time watch. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.